In the realm of science, one man's genius would forever change the course of history. His name was J. Robert Oppenheimer. Known as the father of the atomic bomb, his story is one that is deeply sculpted into the annals of history. Born in the pulsing heart of New York City in 1904, Oppenheimer was far from being an ordinary child. He was brought up amidst opulence, yet it was his relentless curiosity and intellectual prowess that distinguished him. A scholar, a prodigy, he ventured to study physics at the prestigious Harvard and Cambridge University, absorbing wisdom from the minds of Max Born and Niels Bohr. His undeniable brilliance didn't go unobserved. In no time he transitioned into a professor himself at esteemed institutions like Caltech and UC Berkeley, shaping minds and inspiring a fresh wave of physicists. Yet, as the clutches of World War II tightened, Oppenheimer's journey took a dramatic twist. He was chosen for the Manhattan Project, burdened with a monumental and terrifying responsibility: the crafting of the atomic bomb. His stewardship at the Los Alamos National Laboratory would etch his name in fame, but it also ignited a personal battle that would shape his legacy. But beneath the shower of praises and triumphs, Oppenheimer was a man grappling with profound ethical dilemmas. The Manhattan Project, a secret wartime effort that changed the course of history and placed Oppenheimer at the center of a moral storm. The project was a covert mission, shrouded in secrecy and driven by the desperation of an ongoing war. Its aim: to develop the world's first atomic bomb, a weapon of unimaginable destruction. J. Robert Oppenheimer, a brilliant physicist, was the man chosen to spearhead this Herculean task. His leadership at the Los Alamos National Laboratory was central to the project's success. Oppenheimer's task was not just scientific, it was managerial, logistical, even political. He was tasked with marshaling some of the brightest minds of his generation, a veritable who's who of the scientific world. The likes of Niels Bohr, Enrico Fermi, and Richard Feynman were all gathered in the deserts of New Mexico, united in a common, if controversial, purpose. Oppenheimer's role was as much about navigating the personalities and egos of his team as it was about understanding the complex physics involved in splitting the atom. He had to balance the pressures from the military and political leadership, all while keeping the morale of his team high and their focus razor sharp. But it was in the crucible of the Manhattan Project that Oppenheimer, the physicist, became Oppenheimer, the ethical philosopher. As the project neared its culmination, the moral implications of their work began to weigh heavy on Oppenheimer. The creation of a weapon that could annihilate cities and kill thousands of innocent lives in an instant was a burden too great to bear for many, including Oppenheimer. The atomic bomb, a deadly innovation, was born, and with it Oppenheimer's ethical struggle deepened. With the power to obliterate cities in an instant, the atomic bomb brought with it a severe moral quandary. The creation of the atomic bomb was not just a scientific feat, but also an ethical maelstrom. For J. Robert Oppenheimer, the physicist at the helm of its development, this was a reality he could not escape. The very science that fascinated him, that he had dedicated his life to, was now capable of unfathomable destruction. It was a paradox that haunted him, a paradox that bore the weight of countless lives. Oppenheimer found himself grappling with the moral implications of his work. He was a scientist, yes, a man of logic and reason, but he was also a human being, aware of the devastating potential of his creation. The atomic bomb was a tool of power and destruction, a tool that could end wars. But at what cost? At the cost of entire cities, of countless innocent lives? In the aftermath of the bomb's first test, Oppenheimer famously quoted a line from the Bhagavad Gita, an ancient Hindu scripture, saying, "Now, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." This chilling statement encapsulates his struggle between the pursuit of scientific knowledge and the horrifying reality of its application. It was a sentiment that echoed the gravity of the atomic age, the duality of its promise and peril. Oppenheimer's journey illuminates the ethical complexities inherent in scientific progress. His role in the Manhattan Project forced him to confront the moral implications of his work, to question the very nature of his contributions to science. It was a struggle that would shape his legacy, a struggle that remains relevant to scientists and innovators today. His story is a stark reminder of the profound responsibility that comes with scientific advancement as we push the boundaries of knowledge, as we venture into new frontiers of discovery. We must also grapple with the ethical implications of our pursuits. For each scientific leap forward brings with it a moral quandary, a question of right and wrong, of benefit and cost, of progress and consequence. Oppenheimer found himself at the crossroads of scientific progress and moral responsibility. The war ended, but for Oppenheimer, a new battle began. In the aftermath of World War II, with the devastating power of the atomic bomb still fresh in the global consciousness, the world of science turned its attention to the next formidable weapon, the hydrogen bomb. Oppenheimer, however, found himself at odds with this new pursuit. Having witnessed the cataclysmic potential of the atomic bomb, he was deeply troubled by the escalation of destructive power. He became a vocal opponent of the hydrogen bomb's development, a stance that pitted him against many of his former colleagues in the burgeoning Cold War mentality. His opposition wasn't merely a technical or strategic argument, but one rooted in profound ethical concerns. He understood that the hydrogen bomb represented not just an increase in power, but an exponential leap in the capacity for devastation. This ethical stance, however, was not without consequence. It sparked controversy, casting Oppenheimer into a maelstrom of political scrutiny and suspicion. In a climate of heightened fear and anti-communist sentiment, his opposition was seen as a potential threat to national security. In 1954, the controversy reached its peak. Oppenheimer's security clearance, a vital necessity for anyone involved in nuclear research, was revoked. This marked a dramatic fall from grace for the man who was once at the helm of the Manhattan Project. Yet, despite the personal cost, Oppenheimer remained steadfast in his ethical conviction. He continued to advocate for the responsible use of scientific knowledge, emphasizing that the power to create also bore the responsibility to preserve. Oppenheimer's ethical stance came at a personal cost, but it marked him as a conscientious scientist. His story serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between scientific advancement and moral responsibility. Oppenheimer's story did not end with his death in 1967. His legacy continues to resonate today. J. Robert Oppenheimer, the man who helped birth the atomic bomb, is remembered not only for his scientific prowess but also for the ethical dilemmas he grappled with. His life serves as a poignant lesson in the intersection of science, ethics, and war. A lesson that reminds us of the profound responsibility that comes with wielding the power of scientific knowledge. Oppenheimer's story is an enduring testament to the complexities of scientific innovation during wartime. His struggle with the moral implications of his work on the Manhattan Project has become a touchstone in discussions of scientific ethics. It's a reminder that science does not exist in a vacuum, but is deeply intertwined with the fabric of society. It's a potent example of how the pursuit of knowledge can lead to both remarkable progress and devastating consequences. The physicist's opposition to the development of the hydrogen bomb following World War II speaks volumes about his ethical stance. Despite being a pivotal figure in the creation of the atomic bomb, Oppenheimer came to understand the terrifying power of such weapons. His stance led to controversy, resulting in the loss of his security clearance. Yet, his courage to voice his concerns, to stand against the tide, is an enduring part of his legacy. In many ways, Oppenheimer's story serves as a cautionary tale. It underscores the need for scientists to consider the ethical implications of their work, to question, and to take a stand when necessary. His life reminds us that scientific advancements, while often beneficial, can also be a double-edged sword. Oppenheimer's influence extends beyond the realm of physics. His life and his struggles have shaped the discourse around the ethics of scientific discovery and technological innovation. His story is a stark reminder of the moral considerations that must be part of scientific pursuits. Oppenheimer's story, a testament to the power and peril of scientific innovation, continues to echo through the halls of history. In an era where scientific advancements are made with startling speed, Oppenheimer's ethical struggles are more relevant than ever. You see, we're living in a time where progress is not just rapid, it's exponential. And with each leap forward, we're faced with complex questions about the ethical implications of our actions. Take, for instance, the field of artificial intelligence. As we inch closer to creating machines that mimic human cognition, we're forced to grapple with the same dilemmas that plagued Oppenheimer. What are the ramifications of creating something that has the potential to outthink us? And more importantly, how do we ensure that these machines are used for the betterment of society and not its detriment? Consider also the realm of genetic engineering. With technologies like CRISPR, we now have the ability to edit the genetic code of living organisms, including humans. This opens up a Pandora's box of ethical questions. Should we be tampering with the very building blocks of life? And if so, where do we draw the line? Oppenheimer's story serves as a stark reminder that scientific innovation is not just about pushing the boundaries of what is possible. It's about navigating the murky waters of what is ethical. It's about understanding that every advancement comes with its own set of moral implications, and it's our responsibility to consider these before we forge ahead. In a world that's more interconnected than ever, the decisions we make today have far-reaching consequences. The atomic bomb, a product of Oppenheimer's genius, changed the course of history, and its echoes can still be felt today. As we stand on the brink of new frontiers in science and technology, we should remember that our actions will shape the world for generations to come. So as we continue to innovate, let's not forget the lessons of the past. Let's remember Oppenheimer's struggles with the ethics of his creation. Let's strive to be more thoughtful, more considerate, and more conscious of the ripple effects of our work. As we stand on the cusp of new scientific frontiers, let Oppenheimer's story serve as a reminder of the profound ethical considerations that accompany innovation. As we conclude our in-depth look at Oppenheimer's ethical dilemmas, we trust it has stimulated your thinking. The quandaries we've examined today don't have definitive answers, but that's precisely why they're imperative to pose. We not only encourage, but also invite you to express your viewpoints and judgments on the subject in the comments section below. What would be your approach to the ethical dilemmas that Oppenheimer confronted? How do you interpret the ethical consequences of current scientific advancements, such as artificial intelligence and genetic engineering? Moreover, how would you strike a balance between the quest for knowledge and the obligation that comes along with it? We are excited to know your perspectives. If this video has captured your interest and you wish to delve further into the crossroads of science, ethics, and history, remember to subscribe to our channel. We have a vast array of intellectually stimulating content in the pipeline, and we are eager to share it with you. Until next time, continue to question, explore, and most importantly, participate in the conversation. In conclusion, we value your opinions and would love to hear more from you. Please share your thoughts with us on this topic. Also, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content that will make you think. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Our next detailed exploration, stay inquisitive and keep asking questions.